Locate the source of the bleeding. Apply direct pressure. Apply a pressure dressing, and while maintaining direct pressure on the wound, elevate the extremity. If bleeding is still not controlled, maintain elevation and wrap the pressure dressing with gauze to maintain pressure on the wound. Apply manual pressure to the brachial artery to decrease bleeding in the arm, or the femoral artery to decrease bleeding in the leg. This skill requires 2 EMTs. Assess the patient's pulse and sensation in the extremity. Maintain stabilization of the extremity. Slide the splint under the extremity. Then secure the splint straps. Finally, reassess pulse and sensation to ensure the splint is not too tight. Before splinting with a rigid splint, you must first check the patient's pulse, motor functions, and sensation distal to the injured area. Provide manual stabilization and support to the injured extremity, and maintain gentle traction if indicated while applying the rigid splint. Then measure the splint to the extremity.
I'm going to put this in here just for support. Okay.
Pad the open spaces between the splint and the extremity to place pressure evenly over the entire area of the extremity. Then secure the rigid splint to the extremity with cravats or snugly tied roller gauze. Make sure the knots are tied over the splint, not the skin. Immobilize the joints above and below the injury site. Secure and immobilize the hand or foot in a position of function. To finish splinting, secure the entire injured extremity to the body. And finally, assess the pulse, motor function, and sensation distal to the injury.